There's an unwritten rule in Thai lady bars that nobody really warns you about until you break it, and once you do, the girls don't forget. Hey everyone, Nolan Jax here, and if you're new to the channel, I actually own a lady bar up here in Chiang Mai, Thailand, and so I see this all the time. Now, if you don't fully understand how these lady bars actually operate, you know, how the girls make money, how it operates behind the scenes, or the culture behind it, then please check out my completely free ebook, Inside Thailand's Lady Bars. It's a deep dive into how these bars actually run and what to expect when you're first coming to Thailand. Check the link in the description below for your free download. Now, quick side note, I had mentioned in a previous video that I'd been making a deep dive into the red light district here in Chiang Mai. Now, I had to move that to Sunday. I had some issues with my camera, as well as I wanted to wait until the festivities around Loi Kroh had finished, so expect that this coming Sunday. But today, we're going to be talking about something that really blindsides a lot of guys, and that's being called a butterfly. Anyways, let's get into the video. Now, I'm sure many of you have heard of the 3-day rule. Now, this is kind of the gold standard when going to lady bars in the bigger cities, so in Pattaya, Bangkok, or Phuket. If you don't know, it's essentially just don't go and see the same girl 3 times in a row, or just don't go to the same girl 3 times. If you do, things are just going to get more and more complicated and just cause you issues. Now, in the bigger cities, this is easy to avoid. There's hundreds of bars and thousands of girls, so you really can just blend in and get away with it. But Chiang Mai is different. All the lady bars are basically concentrated around Loi Kroh Road. So if you're here for a week or 2 or more, you're definitely going to be seeing the same people on a regular basis. The girls definitely notice. They remember who you sat with, who you bought drinks for, and who you were with last time you were in the bar. So if you sit with one girl one night, buying her some drinks, and then come back to the bar maybe a couple days or even a week later, and then try to sit with somebody else, that's when the tension arises. Now, maybe not even between you, but probably between those 2 girls. Most guys don't even realize they've done anything wrong, but in this environment, it does matter. And now this is only increased if you do decide to take that girl out of the bar. Once you do that, it's kind of a lock. You're expected to sit with her anytime that you come back to that bar. Now, quick thing before we get into what exactly a butterfly is. If you're looking to come to Thailand, cut loose, have some fun, and really explore, then please do so with health insurance. I use Rabbit Care. It's cheap and covers basically anything that you're going to run into while you're out here. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to check it out. Being a butterfly means you're a guy that flutters from girl to girl. Never really sticking to one, always chasing something new. Here's the idea. Essentially, once you sit with a girl one time, her expectation is that when you do come to the bar, you're going to sit with her. In her mind, you're her customer, her regular maybe. Now, I hear this a lot. A guy goes to a bar, sits with a girl one night, and then when he comes back a couple days later, maybe he wants to sit with somebody else, talk to somebody else, buy drinks for a different girl. And then it either causes issues, or he just magically ends up sitting with the girl from the first time. That's the unspoken pressure that really causes this butterfly dynamic. And now this really depends on the type of trip you're having. You know, a lot of guys who come here, they're going to come here for a week or 2, go to the bars, maybe go to the couple bars a couple times. And so it only really happens internally in one bar where they run into this issue where they have to sit with the girl that they sit with the first day. But for guys who stay here longer, it really does change. The dynamic really does shift. When there's a bit of familiarity and maybe a bit of hope on either end, that's when the dynamic really shifts. And that's when you'll notice things going to the next level. You know, people remembering you from before or asking you where you're going next. And it's not negative. It's not a bad reflection on Chiang Mai or the girls that work in these bars. It's just human nature and how that plays out in this dynamic. And the more often you come back, the stronger these effects are going to be. And in a small nightlife community like Chiang Mai, word really does travel fast. Girls at other bars will ask you where you're going, who you're meeting, or who you were with last night. And if they do see you bar hopping, they might tease you and call you a butterfly. It's a half joke, but a half accusation as well. They smile while saying it, but they're letting you know that they noticed. And if you are looking for something a bit more serious, then this is where it can become a problem. Once you're seen as a butterfly, it's really hard to shake that. They assume that that is who you are, that you have tons of girls on the go, and their guard is really up. So why does this even matter? You know, honestly, a lot of it is down to the culture here in Thailand. It's all about saving face. You know, when you do sit with a girl in one of these bars, it is kind of like a social contract. She's chosen, you chose her. She now feels that she possesses you in a way. You are her customer and only hers. And obviously, if you're going to go and decide that you don't want to sit with her anymore, you would rather sit with somebody else, that is a direct insult to her. And then you have to add in, at the end of the day, this is her job. This is how she makes money. This is how she provides for herself and potentially for her family. And by switching girls, you are directly hitting both pride and income. So it definitely is a big thing and a big factor when you're going to these bars. By calling you a butterfly, it's just her way of signifying that she understands and that she sees what you've done. Now, how can you handle this situation when you are coming to these bars? Because obviously, I'm not trying to deter anybody from coming down to one of these bars. I own one. I want you to come to these bars, and I want you to go to the other bars in the area. Now, the beautiful thing about Chiang Mai that it is a lot calmer than places like Pattaya or Bangkok or even Phuket. You know, there's a lot less bars, a lot less girls in these bars, and it's a lot less of an intense environment. So you can take your time when going into these bars. You don't need to sit down with the first girl that approaches you. When you go to one of these bars, a girl will approach you. She will say, "Do you want a drink?" And then she will probably ask for a drink herself. You don't have to say yes. You don't have to buy her a drink. There's no rule in saying that you have to sit with the first girl that talks to you. If someone approaches you and you're not feeling it, then just get your own drink, smile, and politely decline buying her a drink. Most of these girls, if you say no, they're not going to pester you. They'll leave and they'll walk away. And then you can sit there, enabling yourself to look around and seeing if there is somebody that you would like to chat with. Now, if there's somebody that you're genuinely interested in, approach them directly, ask them, sit down beside them, or motion for them to come over. If she's busy talking to somebody else, then by all means, wait. It makes things a lot easier if you just wait until she is free to chat rather than trying to switch with a girl later on. Once people start buying drinks for a different girl, that's when things get complicated. Not because you've done anything wrong or she's doing anything wrong, but it's just sending mixed signals. Taking your time at the start avoids all of that. And another thing that guys don't realize is that once you have bought a drink for one girl, most of the other girls in the bar are not going to come over to you. Not because they're upset, but because they respect each other. In these bars, approaching a customer who's already sitting with a girl buying her drinks can be seen as trying to steal their coworker's customer. And look, none of these rules are set in stone. These are just guidelines that you can follow. You can bend them, and plenty of people do. There's no law that says you can't switch between girls in a given bar. It just tends to make things a lot smoother if you just sit with the girl you're genuinely interested in and don't switch between girls. At the end of the day, everyone is working. The girls are there to earn a living, and you're there to have some fun. But keeping things clear and consistent is the best way that you can achieve that end. Being called a butterfly isn't the end of the world, but it definitely can complicate your night. These aren't official rules, just unspoken ones that keep the nightlife running smoothly. If you understand them, you'll enjoy your time that much more. And if you want a full breakdown of how lady bars actually work, the money, the psychology, and the culture, then grab a free copy of Inside Thailand's Lady Bars below. It goes into everything that I can't say on YouTube.